Hello, Percussion. Welcome to your first lesson of band. In our first lesson here, we're going to learn how to put our drum stand together, how to put our drum pad into the drum stand, get that nice and secure and safe. We're also going to go over how do we hold our drumsticks, and eventually, how do we play on our drum pad. So the first thing we need to do is start putting things together. So I'm going to go over my drum stand right here. And then in my drum stand, I'm going to first lift the top part up. This is where the drum pad would go eventually. I'm going to take one of our little fasteners here, or screws. I'm going to tighten it. You might have to first, if yours is folded up like mine and it's tight, you might have to go untighten, lift it up till it's straight up and down, then retighten it. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to open up the legs at the bottom, loosen the screw, then fold out the legs like that, retighten, down flat on the ground, nice and stable. The next thing we're going to do is unfold the top. You have to make sure this, if you have a stand like me, our black screw here, you have to make sure it's all the way down. So there's a little bit of space here. We can then unfold and leave the top go flat. The next thing I want to do, take my drum pad, place it in. As you can see, our grips here on the side, there's a gap. We want to close that gap so the grip is right against the drum pad, holding it tight. We do that by tightening the screw, that black screw down here underneath. We tighten it, which then makes the top of the drum pad close, the drum stand close around the drum pad. Keep tightening. You might have to lift up the pad a little bit to make sure it doesn't get, the drum stand doesn't get stuck when you're trying to close it. Keep going. Keep tightening. One thing I like to do is make sure my drum stand's like a triangle. I have a little label here, it says HQ. I like to have that label right in line with one of the grips of the drum stand. Keep tightening, keep tightening, keep tightening until, as you see, that gap that was there between the pad and the stand is gone. My drum pad is pretty secure. The next thing I want to do is get my drum stand to be at the height of my waist. So when I stand up, that's very far away. What I want to do is loosen the screw, lift the top of the stand up until it's at waist height. Now for me, that's pretty high up. For you, it might be lower, it might be higher. What are we going to do? This is still a little low. It's below my waist level a little bit by a few inches. I can't get this up any higher. I'm going to loosen my feet. And I'm going to bring my feet of the drum stand in a little bit to give myself some height that way. I don't want to bring them in too close together. It won't be as stable. They'll fall over a little bit easier. All right, well, let's see. That is a lot closer. That's a lot better. So now that my drum pad is at waist height, how do we hold our drumsticks? Well, Percussion, here's how we hold our drumsticks. I'll do a close-up. The first thing you need to do is, I start with the first finger and our thumb of each hand. If you have these sticks like I do, which is the ones I recommend using, and when you buy your supplies, these are the ones, as long as you use the order form, these are the ones you're going to get. You're going to put your thumb over the little American flag right here. Put your thumb over it. Pinch with our thumb and our first finger, and then wrap your fingers around the drumstick. That should leave about 2 inches of the drumstick out from the bottom of your hand. Other stick, pinch around that flag, wrap gently, 2 inches. Fingers are in line, thumbs are in line as well. And you should be able to read the name of the stick, Vic Firth, right above your thumbs. Then, we don't want to squeeze too tight, and we don't have our drumsticks too loose. It's very wobbly. We have to find that nice, comfortable grip where we have control, but it's not where we're squeezing. We don't want to squeeze, but we want to grip firmly enough where we have control over our drumsticks. Then if I go over to the pad, I'm at my drum pad. It's just about my waist height. The next thing I'm going to do is, how do we play on our drum pad? Well, in the middle of the pad, I like to keep my tips of my drumsticks to point like a triangle. I don't want them right next to each other. You can put some space in between. And then all of our playing comes from moving just our wrist up and down. We never want to have our drumsticks above more than 3 inches away from the drum pad. Right? So we don't want it all the way up here like this. As you can see, I'm using like my shoulders and my elbows to play my drum pad like this. If I keep my shoulders and my shoulders relaxed, my elbows tucked in a little, sticks pointing in the middle of the drum pad. If I move just my wrist, my elbows are staying still, my shoulders are staying still. Playing with just moving your wrists helps a lot. It conserves energy, you won't get as tired, and it lets us keep that like 3-inch stick height. You never want to go more than that. And the most important thing is you just alternate back and forth. One last thing, I'll show you with playing percussion. How do we, if we're not playing, what do we do with our sticks? Do we leave them at our sides? Do we wave them around? What I like you to do is have control over your sticks. The way we do that is we bring them together. So that way we have the bottom of a stick and a tip of the stick on either end. We grip them like this, and then we put them in front of ourselves in rest position, waiting to play. And then, if we need to play, we would count you in 1, 2, wa-cha. And that way when you bring your sticks apart, our thumbs are over the American flags, we have a comfortable, steady grip, and we're ready to play over the drum pad. One more time. 1, 2, wa-cha, 2, ready, go. Rest position. All right, percussion. That's how you put your drum stand and drum pad together. That's how we stand behind our drum pad. Make sure it's waist height. Make sure the stand is stable and secure on the floor. We don't want a lot of wobble. Make sure the drum pad is gripped tightly by the grips on the stand. When we're holding the drumstick, we pinch the American flags with our thumb, grip around 2 inches out of the bottom, alternating back, each hand at a time, alternate back and forth, using just your wrists to move to play. All right, percussion, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or send me a message. Bye.